Hi guys, welcome back to the channel for another first ride today. We're on a loan bike. The BMW is in for its first service and getting its exhaust put on. So today we've been given this Gladius, Suzuki Gladius 650. Now this is a little bit of a throwback for me, hence why I wanted to do this review for you guys today. This was my first bike that I had. So I had the SVF650, which was the same bike, just with clip-ons. I absolutely loved that bike, and I learnt to ride on that bike. So this is a bit of a throwback for me. I think these bikes are fantastic. They're a V-twin, plenty of power, really comfortable, and yeah guys, so it's going to be a bit of traffic. Let's get on the bike. It is pretty much peak hour at the moment, so you're going to have to bear with me if there's a bit of traffic around. Great sounding engine, love that V-twin. Really easy bike to ride as well. If you guys are looking for a first bike, or a bit of a commuter, or just something easy to ride around, this bike is fantastic. Heaps of torque. That's the thing about these, they're just torquey, like they got heaps of low down torque. They haven't got heaps of power up top, but plenty enough to get out of trouble. Like I said, we are in the middle of peak hour. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, so bear with me guys. Alright, so first things first, like I like to start every sort of review with, is what's it like. So comfort wise, really comfortable. Obviously I can flat foot this bike, no problem at all, so good for short riders. Pegs are really comfortable. You're not pushed back at all. Your handlebars are just in a really comfortable position, slightly back, definitely more comfortable than say a Ducatti Monster or something like that. Definitely more comfortable, a lot more comfortable. I had a Ducatti 650, which a lot of people compare this bike with the Monster because it shares a very similar engine, being a V-twin. And being a 650, the 659 Monster that I had, very similar bikes, but this is definitely more comfortable. Jesus, freezing today here in Sydney. It's only going to get a top of about 20 degrees, but this morning it's when I left at 6 o'clock, it was pretty much, I think it was about 7 or 8 degrees. So pretty nippy for here in Sydney. But yeah, so yeah, comfort wise, no problem at all. Like I said, flat footing, both sides, really comfy seat. Mirrors are quite good on this bike. If it was my bike, I would have some bar end mirrors, just to make it a little neater. But other than that, really revvy engine too. Likes to rev. Doesn't like being low down at all. It likes sitting at sort of 6-7. Gearbox is smooth. And yeah, and it's got everything you ever need. It's got a gear indicator. Doesn't have a fuel gauge, but it has a fuel light, I think. Yep. Yeah, so it's really, it's a simple bike. But yeah, I really wanted to just to share this with you guys because it's a bit of a throwback. Like I said, I learnt on this platform, on this bike. But really fun bike. Really nice. And like I said in my other videos, I am looking for a comfortable comfortable bike to ride around. I wouldn't mind one of these, but they're really hard to get in Australia here. There's barely any on online at the moment. Really, I think people who buy these bikes definitely keep them, you know. You don't see too many used ones floating around. And here in Australia as well, is if you were on your restricted license, like when you start out riding, you're on your L's and P's and you can ride this bike. I'm not sure if this one here is actually restricted, but I do believe it's only literally a cord that in the ECU that you literally just cut. I know this because I have a friend who had one of these, and yeah, you literally just cut it and you get full power. And obviously I had the SV650 and it was the same story. This one's a bit dirty, but yeah, it looks good in this white and blue. Nice paint as well, considering how old this bike is. Not sure what year this one is, but yeah, it'd be at least a maybe 2012, 2011. Yeah, just a really easy bike to ride, really comfortable. Suspension feels quite plush. Yeah, really nice. So yeah, like I said, the bike, my S1000, is in for its first service, 1,000-kilometer service, and it's getting the full exhaust fitted, which you know, super excited about. I'm going to be filming that video this afternoon as well, but you'll be watching this video first, and then that will follow a few days later. I just love how easy this bike is to ride. It's just so smooth. Such a good bike. I know why people keep these now. It's just a really good bike. And you know, it's funny, and I said this in my last video when I rode the Street Triple RS, and that has a lot more power than this. I mean, a lot more power. You know, completely different league, completely different bike. But you know, you get on something like this and it's still heaps of fun, and it's fun because it's easy, and it's easy to use, it's easy to throw into corners, it's you know, it's just it's comfortable, it's doesn't feel, you don't feel cramped, you don't feel like it's trying to rip your head off, and at the end of the day, that's really what you want, and that's what motorcycling is really about, is you know, enjoying being out on the bike, you know, really, you know, getting into those corners, you know, if you're on a country road or if you're commuting like I am now, I'm off to work, you want to be comfortable. I know a lot of guys who can, you know, afford to have a couple of bikes, you know, that's the dream, to have a, you know, an S1000, you know, your track sort of focused bike, and then have a comfortable commuter. You know, some of us can do that, but not everyone. So, and it's hard to find that balance of what you really want out of a bike, and I've gone down that path quite a bit lately of sort of trying to find that balance of what I really wanted. I mean, like I said, I've gone through heaps of different bikes, but you know, I got on my S1000 this morning and I was like, this is amazing. Like, it is so much fun. I have to go 40 here, but at the same time, it's, you know, nowhere near as comfortable as this. Like, this is crazy, you know, how comfortable. You can definitely get on this and ride this all day long, no problem whatsoever. And that's, you know, for a commuter, that's what you want. You know, for a V twin, this is so smooth. Handles really well. Jesus Christ. I don't know if you heard that bang, but it scared the crap out of me. Beautiful day here, but yeah, a bit cold here in Sydney, but looks like it's going to be a awesome day. The gears are really easy just to, you know, go down to first. Neutral's really easy to find. Yeah, just a really great bike. I'm really struggling to fault it. You know, it's actually quite these bikes, you can actually modify them quite well actually. Like, you can do quite a few things, like, you know, shove an exhaust on it. They sound amazing with an exhaust. Mine had a Yoshimura. Wasn't super loud, but just yeah, just loud enough. This one's got the stock Canon. Yeah, it's a bit quiet. It's a little bit buzzy through the seat, but nothing crazy. I haven't really been up to high speeds on it yet, so I couldn't really tell you what it's like on the sort of freeway. We will get up to a little bit faster roads coming up, but I'm surprised. We've been quite lucky here with the traffic. It is school holidays here, so it does make it usually a little quieter. Yeah, heaps of torque, really smooth, great handling. You know, and this bike, I think, you know, you can pick these up for, you know, about, I think between sort of $4,000 and $10,000 here in Australia. That's usually what I've seen them sort of go for. And I mean, in all honesty, if you're looking at sort of like a Ninja 400 or even a Ninja 650, I would definitely go and ride one of these if you can. These are, I think, for a learner, probably the best bike, or say for your first bike, one of the best bikes you can learn on. It sounds good, heaps of torque, enough power, really easy to ride. Gearbox is really good. Don't have to do a lot to them, just maybe change these mirrors out, they're a bit ugly. But apart from that, it is a very capable bike. This one's got a Pirelli, I think, Diablo Rosso 2 tyres, so you can definitely feel, you know, they're fairly sticky tyres. That probably helps. I don't think they, from memory, out of the box, they don't come with awesome tyres, but most of them are second hand now anyway. So there is a new SV650, but they don't make a it's not called a Gladius, it's just called the SV sort of 650, and it's I think personally, I don't think it looks as good as this model, but that's subjective. And they make a couple of other versions now. I know they do sort of a cafe racer sort of one with clip-ons. I think that's called the SVX or something like that. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't think it's not my cup of tea, that one. Yeah, what a bike, guys. I don't know if it's coming across, but even this stock can sounds really good. And that's the thing, like, if you went and bought a, no offense, you know, the Ninja 400s and stuff are great bikes, but for the same money you can get one of these, and to be honest, this is a much better bike. You know, it's got a much better engine in it, you got more power, definitely more torque, bigger tyres, so it feels a little more planted on the road. The you know, obviously it's a naked bike, so it's very comfortable. The Ninja 400 is probably very similar. I know that is a very comfortable bike as well, but you know, you miss that. You know, this has got the sound, it's got, you know, it's got everything you ever want. This sounds like a proper, you know, big bike. And you know, those Ninja 400s, even with an exhaust, they just, I don't know, they just don't do it for me. Now, I know people that love them and swear by them and have kept them for long times, and I know they are a very good bike. I've ridden the Z400, and yeah, they're fantastic bikes for the money, and you can obviously pick up a new one for 7-8 grand. But I just, you know, these bikes, even the Ducati Monster, you can get that for really cheap now, although that I don't recommend that bike that much. I'd actually buy one of these over a Monster. The Monster was fairly uncomfortable. Actually really uncomfortable. The pegs are just really upright and you're a lot more over the front end. You know, flatter bar and you're really over the front, which is not ideal. Just for the, you know, it's a naked bike, and it's just I remember riding that down to Wollongong and just feeling like this is not comfortable at all, you know, for a naked bike. Yeah, really smooth gearbox, really easy to ride. I'm really loving this bike. I want one. It's such an easy bike to ride to work. You know, you can still do, you know, your fast weekend, you know, thrashing around the mountains on it. More than capable. Highway stuff as well. It's not going to be ringing its tits off. It's going to be, you know, quite stable. And that's the other thing, when you're up at, you know, when you get a 650, it's, you know, it's a lot better on the freeway than a 400. God, I can remember doing highway runs on my 250, my VTR 250. That was a V-twin as well, actually, and just, you know, quite painful and quite scary. You know, once you get the bigger engine and the bigger tires as well, it makes freeways, you know, so much more comfortable and feel, you know, you feel a lot safer, and that's what you want. Yeah, I mean, even the levers here, they're adjustable on the braking side, which is really good, which is handy. And you don't see a lot of stock bikes with adjustable brake levers, stock at least. Pretty sure these are stock, yeah. Come on, lights. Plenty of power in this bike. Second gear roll on. Rear brake's quite good as well, which is surprising. A lot of the Japanese bikes that I've ridden don't have the best rear brakes, but this one feels really good. The only thing I could criticize on this bike, in all honesty, is the fact that it does rev quite high. It's like, I feel like it runs out of revs a little bit, but that's a V-twin though. It's not an inline. The inline 4s are a bit smoother with, and you know, higher revving. This red line's at what, 10.5, you know. But I mean, that's nothing. It's still a fun bike. Really torquey as well. That's the main thing about this bike. It's just heaps of torque. Way more than a Ninja 400, stuff like that. I know I keep comparing it to that, but that's kind of where I put this bike as far as people that are buying this bike and the price point. Yeah, great little bike. Can't recommend this bike enough, guys. Really cool. If you're after this bike, she's a winner. Alright, guys. I'm almost at work now. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, give us a like, send us a comment on what you think of this bike or anything else that you want me to ride. And yeah, guys, I'm glad you could experience this with me. Fantastic bike. I'll catch you next time. Cheers.